I mean, of course, we've all heard you on with the Pokemon theme, and we know you've done singing, you've done acting, but I wanted to know what was the reason behind you wanting to go into the career of music anyway? What was the genuine reason?
Fun. I mean, we want to express ourselves. We are naturally expressive human beings. We make things out of our imagination with our voices, with our hands. The whole world, besides nature, everything that we see around us is made by someone's imagination and through their voice and how they express themselves. And so the music is one way that we express ourselves. And I just found that fun and wanted to continue doing it. So that's what I'm doing.
And what would you say is the first working job you ever had when you got into music? Was it the Pokemon theme music, or was it something else completely different?
Um, I was I think in music, the first, well, you talk about jobs, you're talking about getting paid to do something. When that's really not, not the way that I saw the work. I was doing magic on the streets of New York City at age 14. And I would, I'd stand on the street and I'd take a quarter and I'd make it disappear. And I would,
Oh,
oh,
that's
it's kind
awesome.
of hard with the screen flipping around like that. But I got approached by a manager, and the manager sent me out on auditions, and I did TV commercials, and I started a band, and that band was outside of my high school training, which was music in our high school, the Fame I Want to Live Forever high school that taught us how to sing classical music. They didn't teach us how to sing pop or rock. I had to do that on my own. But my band was produced by the first band when I was like 15, produced by the guitar player of none other than somewhere on here, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Oh, I can't look. It's not. It's virtual, so I can't see. I sang. Here he is. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. The guitar player Steve Katz happened to get in touch with my drummer's father and produce my first band. Now that was a musical professional situation. I didn't actually get paid for it, but the band was being produced by the guitar player from Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Oh my God, a band that I only had heard. I mean, I've obviously on the radio my whole life growing up until age 15, but I went to the Blood, Sweat, and Tears concert in utero, in the womb, when I was, I think I was probably about 4 months in, old. I wasn't even 9 months to come out yet. Uh, that's Blood, Sweat, and Tears. You make me so very happy. And so that was my first, I think, feeling like I'm a professional musician. This guy's producing my band, and I didn't make any money with that band until for another 6 years. But that band went on to be produced by Paul Stanley of Kiss, to be produced by Bernard Edwards of Chic for Imago Records, and that's when we made money. Imago Records paid us to have us for a year and then drop us, which is what happens with most bands and record deals. And then after that, I got into the jingle world where I was doing sessions for other people outside of the band. And that led to, I don't even know what the first jingle was I did, but I've done so many. Um, it was probably I don't know, a Gatorade commercial, or I can't even remember. It was in the mid '90s, mid 1994 was when I started singing jingles. But the band stuff was in 1984. So I'd been a pro, not making too much money for 10 years until the band came along. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Did- I was looking into some of the notes, and you've been in a couple of productions, and
These
I
notes.
was do
Yep,
do do do.
that's the Pokemon theme song on my chest.
Oh God, I love it. Are you a fan
Yeah.
of musicals, stage musicals in itself as
Yes.
well?
Today, I just was invited to a dinner for this company right here, Baz, and it's called For the Record. Where are they? Where's the other one? Um, it's Tarantino. Here it is. For the Record, Tarantino, and For the Record, Baz, and there was For the Record, Zemeckis, and For the Record, Coen Brothers, and For the Record, Scorsese. It's Scorsese. I played Joe Pesci. It was unbelievable. Uh, These are musicals that are created from aligning all of the movies, the best scenes and songs from all the movies of particular directors like Baz Luhrmann or Tarantino, Scorsese, Coen Brothers, Zemeckis, um, Paul Thomas Anderson. We did
Mm.
Boogie Nights with all kinds of other movies from him as well. It was an incredible musical theater experience in a live uh, venues that are non-traditional theaters, like restaurants with stages built all up around in different areas. We've done them in Vegas at the incredible Club Light at Mandalay Bay, and at the Wallace Annenberg in a traditional theater space. So this musical theater is like groundbreaking, really cool, familiar scenes. I was in the first Tarantino at Rockwell Table and Stage. Actually, it was Show at Bar. It wasn't even Rockwell. It expanded because of For the Record's success. I played Sam Jackson. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you? Go ahead, continue with what you were saying. So, it was cross-cultural casting, was really fun, really fun. But yeah, musical theater is the way that I can consolidate all of my acting ability, my singing ability, my movement ability, the context. We're talking about something specific that we're getting across, not just a song in 3 minutes, then it's over. It's a full 2 hours of communicating things. So, For the Record is now reached groundbreaking heights. They are going to be opening their own, I believe it's like a Cirque du Soleil type tent that they're going to have all their shows at this fall. So I'm very excited about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in them. I'm already booked for most of the fall, but it's a great thing. You got to see their shows.
Is there any musicals that you want to be in personally? Is there any other particular show, play, whatever that really captures you and of your interests?
Yeah, yeah. I did a version of Godspell over here in
Mm.
2020. 2020, yeah, 24 years ago, actually. And I played Jesus. And Godspell is the kind of show that allows the performer to put his own talents into it. And at the time, I had lots of talents, but now I've got even more. And it's sort of this sort of keeps getting updated every time the show is done. All the performers bring their new skills to the table, and it gets incorporated into the show. So I'd really like to do Godspell again and another show. I mean, these are shows that I've already done. Joe's Garage is due for a reunion. We did that in 2007, and it's the best musical I've ever done. Frank Zappa is one of the most prolific and incredible musicians to ever have lived and died. And his work should be seen by more people than just saw it the first time, because it's fabulous, and it appeals to all of my ethics. All the messaging that Zappa has is very aligned with at least what I believed at the time. Shows that I haven't done, not really. I'm not very interested in much musical theater. It always, unless I'm creating it and it's part of something that I'm doing from the ground up, it always is, it lacks a lot of things. It's always manipulated and contrived, and in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable when I'm watching it. Just people singing for the sake of singing. They don't really care what they're singing about. They're just getting paychecks, and they're on a Broadway stage. It's like, that's kind of what it feels like to me.
You should make a song about that. I would definitely listen to that and
No.
listen to the full track. That'll be amazing to listen to. When it comes to performing with artists and everything, there's a couple of names that I've written down. So, um, one of them was just sticking on to the musical theatre at the moment. It was Liza Minnelli. Is that
Oh,
true
yeah.
that what was it like performing with her?
She's right here on the side. You can't really see her. Um, it was incredible. Liza, I first met Liza Minnelli as I was auditioning to be one of her background singers. I didn't get the gig, but I was at her accompanist's house with three other guys in the room, and she didn't really care about how we sung. She just wanted to hang out and catch our vibe and see if we could lift her and carry her around the room efficiently. She wanted to do all these poses and get walked around the room while we were holding her up. It was kind of nuts. I was like, this woman's crazy, but she was just so eccentric and wanted to do all these crazy things. Then later on, I sang backgrounds for a whole bunch of people at Madison Square Garden at an event that was like a radio promotion tour where all the radio stars of the time, Destiny's Child, Shaggy, Usher, would all come in and mix with old artists like Gloria Gaynor and these other people that this producer of this event, David Guest, had access to all these old people and the new people in the radio world. He wound up marrying Liza Minnelli, and I got to sing at their wedding, and I got to sing at their reality TV show that followed them through their crazy relationship. At their apartment, they had superstars perform at their apartment, like Ray Charles. And then Liza Minnelli sang at Michael Jackson's 30th anniversary. And then she did her own concert at Town Hall, which I sang backgrounds for as well. So I had quite a bit of experience with her, and it was really amazing to see her like be this crazy person in the private world, and then when she got on stage, to just be totally aligned and sharp and focused and clear. It was phenomenal. It was like, and then it wasn't even about like her singing, like the technical part of her singing, because she was delivering these songs like they were a meal, and it didn't matter if there was a little more sugar or a little more salt. The technique of hitting the notes and when she hit them didn't matter, because she was bringing you the nutrients of the song, and those nutrients were in her intention and her delivery. And that's kind of what I try to do, and I try to get the technical parts right as well. But you know, it's an experience that you're having, not a series of notes and melodies and beats that you have to hit, you know?
Mm.
And that's kind of how musical theater sort of trains you, because you're not just up there doing a song, you're doing a song that's about this character that just went through this experience that he's now has to sing about, you know? So even in a concert, I try to bring that, and that's what Liza brought.
Mm. What about Meatloaf? Because I read some of that you did a bit of work with Meatloaf as well. Love
Yeah,
it.
I've had a couple experiences with Meatloaf. One was his album, singing backgrounds on the album. Now, I would come in as he was going out. So we didn't sing together. I just sang after he left. I sang all the background parts. I doubled vocals. I sang harmonies on top of him. I'm on just about every song on that Meatloaf record. And then I got hired to sing on a Meatloaf TV show called Rock in a Hard Place. I don't know if you know that, but there you can find clips of this online. He's a host. He hosts the show. He asked the question, what Meatloaf song was the third song on the track from this particular record? And the person has to answer. And then if they, when they answer, whatever they answer correct or false, they play the little clip of the song. Now, in these questions, there's hundreds of questions and hundreds of answers. They don't have the money to buy the actual song to play. So they hired me to sing the vocals for 150 what was like 250 little 15-second snippets of all these popular songs, including 2 Meatloaf songs. So Meatloaf didn't even sell them on his own TV show, his own song. Instead, when the answer was the Meatloaf song, on the Meatloaf hosted show, it was me singing the Meatloaf song in the voice of Meatloaf. Very strange, but those are my 2 Meatloaf experiences.
And you mentioned Michael Jackson as well. You did the 30th anniversary concert, and that must have been, and you did the rap version for Black or White, which is
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
for gangs, clubs, and nations, cause of grief and human relations. Yeah, yeah.
What was it like though to do the concert? And I bet the first time you were called up or approached to say, "Do you want to work on a Michael Jackson concert?" I bet someone would cut your hand just to go, "Yeah, I'll do that."
Yeah, it was very surreal. The same producer as those radio shows was the producer of the Michael Jackson show. So the band had already been sort of established. The primary members of the band, of course, the Michael Jackson part had a full orchestra and choirs and all kinds of different people added. But the I was called by the musical director, and he said, "Hey, we're doing the Michael Jackson show. If you could get a few people together, we need to get a good vocal group. You know, hopefully you can do it." And I was like, "Yeah, I could do it. Oh my God." And I could call a couple of my friends who I could tell them, I could actually leave them the message. Hey, Luther, just want to see if you're available for this gig. It's with a guy. His name is Michael Jackson. Yeah. He's got two shows, the 7th and the 11th. I hope you could do it. Let me know. I'll tell you about, all the pay and all of that if you're available. So let me know. All right, bye. Literally to be able to make a call like that to like 3 or 4 people that I got to join uh, in the group with us was incredible to have that to make those calls. The show, of course, you can watch it online. Unbelievable amounts of energy in the room. The crowd is screaming. What you don't see online is that the songs were 3.5, 4 minutes. The applause was 15 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes in between song one and song two. It was incredible. The thing was like 3.5 to 4 hours long to get through the, 2 hours of music because half of it was applause. Unbelievable. Unbelievable energy in the room and uh, to get to sing all the songs that the popular artists sang to Michael as he sat in the front row. Whitney Houston, Usher, and Ray Charles, and all these other incredible in sync artists came and sang Michael Jackson songs to him. So we got to watch them while we sang with them. They sang Michael songs. And then the Jackson 5 did their reunion, and we sang the backgrounds for the Jackson 5. They're dancing around, they can't be on the mic singing. They need backgrounds, even though they're all there singing. And then we sang the backgrounds with Michael for the third part of the set, and that was unbelievable because those are the classic Michael Jackson songs that the applause was almost louder than the music. There was, there's no way to explain that. In that room, there was so much energy. It's like the Niagara Falls of concerts. If you've ever been to Niagara Falls and you see the energy of that water flowing over, unstoppable amounts of organic, natural energy. This came from from human beings creating on the stage, and it came from human beings being there, experiencing what human beings were creating on the stage and what that human being had created for decades prior in their lives individually, which is kind of what a small degree can understand in the Pokemon community, how you spend your whole life in this Pokemon ecosystem, and all the things that you do contribute to how you feel about Pokemon. And then the song triggers all of this nostalgic experience that you've had, and, the enthusiasm you've had for Pokemon. And that comes out when I do performances sometimes, and people are just having this incredible experience. And it's because of their lifetime of Pokemon. Not necessarily the lifetime of me, but their lifetime of Pokemon. And I'm just a representative. I'm just a sponge for them to put that enthusiasm. Hopefully someday we'll do Madison Square Garden to 30,000 Pokemon fans and they'll freak out.
Speaking about Pokemon, when you were first approached to sing the song, the theme tune that we all love and admire and grew up with, what was your initial response to that? What was your first impression when they were going to tell you, when they told you about this theme song and this show called Pokemon?
Well, as with all the other brands on the backdrop here, they're sessions, and they're some of them are big companies, some of them are unknown companies. We find out what we find out about them, and we go in there and we try to hit a home run for whatever it is they're doing. Lego Mania, Lego Mania. I mean, Lego was as big as it gets at that point in terms of toy companies, and still is right now.
Mm,
So it was just an unknown, basically a Japanese thing that we knew it was a Japanese TV show. Gotta make it, gotta hit it out of the park. Let's rock this thing. What's the song like? And then they play the song, and I say, all right, I got it. Let's do it.
And when it when the show came out and people heard the theme music, and even to this day, people love it. I mean, you sound from just listening, you sound very grateful to the fans of Pokemon for continuing and to keep the legacy of the song going. You're grateful, especially how big the show is, especially the song. You sound very humble when it comes to the community. And was you expecting any big impact it was going to make, or wasn't you expecting how big it was going to turn out to be?
Well, you can't predict these types of things. I'm more projecting and manifesting my own reality, and in my mind and my efforts, I manifest the happiness of people through the work that I do. The audience is receiving my gift of my voice and my talent, and that being, to the largest degree possible, to the Michael Jackson level, basically. I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of Michael Jackson, and those footsteps are kind of hard because he dances and he does all these crazy things with his moonwalk and all that. But that's as an artist, right? So I'm manifesting the happiness, but I was pursuing it as an artist, creating my own music. And that wasn't how the happiness was created. So I did not expect it in this direction, but I did expect it and manifested it for my life. So it's almost as if, you get what you want, but you don't get it from here, you get it from over here. I was busy looking here, and all I had to do was turn around, and oh my God, these are the things that have created as much happiness as a Michael Jackson, in a way.
Mm,
I mean, Pokemon in and of itself, and I'm not responsible for all the happiness that Pokemon creates. I'm just responsible for the song part, and the song has led people to various degrees of happiness, but it could be compared to the happiness Michael Jackson has created in some
mm,
way. 2 billion Pokemon fans, 1 billion people just on the Pokemon Go app alone, $100 billion industry with 25 years of passionate people creating all kinds of art and effort. I mean, there is a Michael Jackson convention, but there's dozens of conventions that are just filled 90% with Pokemon. There's one or two Michael Jackson conventions. So, I mean, I'm not attributing the happiness to me. I'm attributing the happiness to Pokemon. So, and I'm just receiving a little bit of it back when I go to these events.
mm.
So, yeah, I manifest it in some way, the future that I see for myself, but I didn't manifest how I would get it. And I'm very grateful to you and all the Pokemon people who spent all the time and energy, you know, uh, building the ecosystem. And I'm just trying to catch up with interviews, with live performances, with products, with shirts, with merchandise, with other songs that I create. The Pokemon Go theme song, the Detective Pikachu theme song, the Last Goodbye, Ash's Last Goodbye song
Mm.
that you guys can get on YouTube and on my website as well. there's so many ways that I am grateful and creating more value for the Pokemon ecosystem. Um, and following in the footsteps of Michael Jackson. Come on.
Did you ever because in relation to Pokemon Go, obviously The Rock doing Johnson was involved with Pokemon Go. Did you ever get to meet him
Okay,
personally?
Rock. I didn't meet The Rock, but I did meet with his managers.
Mm,
They came over and we discussed how we were going to do the song for Poke Rock, and The Rock said, "Hey, let's do another one and get him in the video." So we did a video for it. It wasn't just the song that was at the end of some of the main uh, Pokemon Go YouTubers had a little segment where they couldn't catch The Rock. But then we did the music video of me in the video afterwards, which is really cool that The Rock did that. So, but no, I did not meet The Rock. I hope to meet him someday, though.
mm. And I'm just noticing on some of the projects that you're working with in the background, and one of them was catching, well, two of them are catching my eyes, and that's obviously the Muppets and also Sausage Party, which I
Oh yeah.
remember. I remember I had to turn it off because my little sister was was only a kid. She thought it was like a, a, a random children's quote unquote children's film,
Yeah,
and it turned
exactly.
out it wasn't the case. But what was your involvement with the sausage pie then?
Uh, Sausage Party, the first song where they're trying to get out of the store. I'm like six or seven different characters in that. Different, I'm like the teriyaki sauce, and I'm the avocado, or I'm the what is it? The Brussels sprouts, and I'm
Mm.
the hot dogs, and there was like four guys that did all of the characters in that, and there's like 30 characters, so really cool scene, and yeah, only let your kids watch the first few minutes.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that's it now. That's the experience
Same
done.
thing with the Muppets. I'm in like Life's a Happy Song where there's someone by your side to sing along. That scene and some other backgrounds of other scenes throughout the movie. I play various characters. Life's a fillet of fish. Life's a leg of lamb. Different people in the scene stepping out, singing a line here and there. A lot of those characters are my voice.
Hmm. School of Rock, if I could see it as well. What was your involvement in the School of Rock?
School of Rock, I sang More Than a Feeling in the School of Rock TV show. Um, Once again, just like in The Rock and the Hard Place, when TV shows have to use an actual song, they try to get a sound-alike version of it for less money than the actual song. So they wanted to use More Than a Feeling in one of those episodes, and instead of buying it from Boston for $40,000 for the 30 seconds that they want, they just hire me and I do it for a fraction of that.
Going on
A
to
nice
just
fraction, a good fraction.
what was that?
A
The
good
good press.
fraction.
Yeah, yeah. And with all the projects that you've done in the past, and having a look at majority of them, was there ever one that really stood out for you that as the proudest moment aside from Pokemon?
um, uh, I think that um, that's a really hard question. Pride is a sin.
Hmm.
When that's like, look at what I just did. This is the best thing. I'm the best. I'm proud of this thing. I know that you don't mean it like that, but that's still how I see that word. Um, I think there's a satisfaction that we get from something when we use our full set of skills in an environment that supports us. Um, and in that, it's not even on the board. The thing that I did that used me in my most powerful way was an offshoot of the For the Record Tarantino, For the Record Baz Luhrmann. That venue was called Rockwell Table and Stage, and I was very popular in that venue because of these shows. So on New Year's Eve, we did a Rocky Horror Picture Show, New Year's Eve version, in which I played Frankenfurter, and I just led that room from 2013 to 2014. Then I did it again from 2014 to 2015. Then I did it again 2015 to 2016. And those performances were me embodying the fullest, passionate performance I could possibly give in an amazing character, Frankenfurter, in an amazing space of people that really wanted to be taken there, and I could take them there. And they were, they were there to have that experience and go into the new year. So you have all that expectation, that anticipation of being that first kiss at New Year's Eve, and all of the different things, the party, the excitement, the energy, the thirst for life, and how great your reality can be. And I was able to be the centerpiece of that show, and the centerpiece of most of these shows in that space at the time. So the audience already trusted me and knew me and went with me when I had them all doing things that only Frankenfurter would have people do.
And a couple of last questions, and thank you once again,
You're welcome.
Jason, for taking the time to speak to me. Now, you are an incredibly busy person, and you've done all these projects in the past, but is there any projects that you look forward to doing in the future?
Oh my God, there are so many things happening. The store is blowing up right now. I'm going to go to Georgia for a tour with a band. I'm headed to Philippines to do my full concert. And that full concert, it also incorporates some of my EDM music that is going to be released this year. It's EDM rock, and it's all original, and some of it's out already. You can get it, Jason Paige and AIN0, I know, DJ I know, on all of the music platforms. I'm just going to be supporting that music and performing it at festivals, and get more. Right now, I go to all these events, and 90% of the time is me signing autographs. I want 90% of my time there to be spent singing for people and performing for them, because that's my true talent, my true value.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm a good autographer, but that's not the thing. I got my Jason Page gold trainer cards that I'm autographing. Then people could get them on my jasonpage.com/shop site. But I'd really prefer if people just downloaded my music and came to my concerts and had that experience that way. And next week I'll be at American Dream Mall in New Jersey. And, you can stay tuned on my website for all the different things that are coming up that I'll be doing. Different merchandise like the shirts, the hats, the art. I'm also doing art on hats, art on shirts, and art on cards. Artographs is what I call them.
Mm.
So there's lots of things that I'm doing that I am very excited about, and more will be coming out in the future.
And last question for you, and Jason, is how do you look back on your career so far?
Um, I look back like this.
Love it. I
That's
gotta
it.
tell you, that is the best answer and the best response I ever had with that question. No, that
Hey,
was absolutely
I'm
brilliant.
ready to go. You set me up for that one, bro.
I know. And do you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad I did. That is absolutely awesome. Oh, that was absolutely fantastic.